What do you have there, Academy?
A trophy.
Whose trophy?
My dad's.
Oh, yes, sir.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach JB, and today we are breaking down the league's most improved player in Julius Randle. Now, before we get into today's breakdown, please don't forget you can save this video for later and share it with a friend so this way they're learning as well.
Too quickly, partner, but he's one of those guys who can do it all for him.
Getting into our breakdown, we can see that his league rank has gone up in 3 different categories: isolation, spot up, and in the pick and roll. And this really shouldn't come as a surprise, as he put in a ton of work this offseason with hoop study friend Tyler Relf, whether that was getting shots up or not using any excuses and putting in work virtually during this pandemic. Checking out how the Knicks utilized them this year, you can see that there was an increase in isolation and his league rank went up in that. And we're going to check out the different actions that they used to put him into isolation scenarios. Now, I looked at his last 20 possessions, and 50% of the time he was just off the ball in an isolated area already. 4 times they had him isolated in the mid post. A couple of times they used a dribble handoff, and then there was a bunch of other things that they did as well that really had no correlation. And if we look at his overall possessions for the year, you can see that isolation was pretty much the top category, followed up closely by a spot up, and we're going to get into this later into the breakdown as well. Looking into when he was isolated, you can see it's just when he's off the ball, and a lot of the times he liked to use his body on smaller defenders and get downhill. We see it in a couple of different clips. Again, has him posted up on the outside. There's no rules to where you can post up. You can post up anywhere, and then again creates that contact and finishes at the rim. This is a great tactic for him to use because he is a big, but he is skilled at the same exact time. The other place that we saw him was isolated in the mid post. You can see he got bounced out a little bit here, but then he's still that 1-2 and then into the jump shot. And you'll see it again here. He'll get pulled out a little bit, but then essentially it's 1 step in, pull up jumper. One last time right here. Again, isolated, 1, 2, pull up jumper. Now, while having a bag is important in the NBA, it's also important to make sure that you're playing to your skill set. And keeping it simple was something that really helped out Julius Randle this year. You can see here he's just using a jab, and then it's going to be a 1 dribble, pull up jumper. And this is something that he excelled at. This year we saw an improvement of 32% in his league ranking. That's drastic. That shows huge improvement. And the other category where he improved in was catch and shoot jumpers. The catch and shoot jump shot was actually more efficient for him than anything else, even though he shot less of them. So a trend that we've seen in these Film Study Fridays is that it's not about having a huge bag of tricks, it's about utilizing the skills that you excel at. Now, if you're wanting to work on isolation shooting, let's check out this drill from one of our Hoop Study Academies with Coach DJ Sackman.
Hit it. All right, now with this drill, we're going to focus on 3 rules, okay? It's isolation. You're just working on getting in your bag and scoring the basketball, okay? You pick a spot. I'm going to pick the top of the key right now. I have an isolation move, whatever that is, and my first scoring point would be mid-range. So I score however I want in the mid-range, all right? If I miss my mid-range shot, then I move back to 3. So now I have my isolation at my spot, and I shoot a 3. If I make my 3, I stay. I keep shooting my 3. If I miss a 3, then I'm going to get to the rim. All right, so that's the workout. You have your spot. You go isolation into mid-range. You make it, you stay at mid-range. You miss, you move back to 3. You make your 3s, you stay at the 3. If you miss a 3, the next rep you get to the rim. Once you make it at the rim, then you get right back to mid-range. So this very simple drill. It's allowing you to get reps, all right, but it's giving you a couple rules so you can add some variables into your movements. And make sure that you change up the way you're playing and you change up your isolation moves. Let's get it. Remember, I'm starting mid-range with this. Hit it. I'm back to mid-range now. Missed it. Now I got 3s. Hit it, I'll stay at 3. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm visualizing my defender. I'm using my imagination. Missed that. Now I gotta get to the rim. Back to mid-range. Hit it. Now, I stay at mid-range. Stay at mid-range. If I'm making my shot, then I move back to 3. So it's a very simple drill, but it's solid because it's gonna get you real reps. It's gonna let you use your imagination, and it's gonna give you some freedom to work out and get in your bag. Get to work.